Okay, people, this is Rich,
This is Cheng.
and today we wanted to talk about love after 30. This is an interesting topic for a lot of people because most of our audience is probably going to be at least 30 years old. So it's something we wanted to talk about and address, and hopefully you'll find this interesting as we do. Let's get into it.
Let's get it.
Rolling my trike. Here we go. All right. So, first question: how would you describe your outlook on love and relationships since you turned 30?
Since I turned 30, I think that I'm more serious about being in a relationship. And yeah, I got widowed when I was 31. Basically, I didn't have the chance to have another relationship after I got widowed. So, yeah.
Right. Right.
How about you?
It's really the same. It's really the same. I believe in love. I believe in long-term relationships. I just think you have to be picky if you're looking for a life partner. You have to be picky, and you can't just settle for less than what you deserve and less than what you are. You have to be what you're looking for, and so you can't look for something or someone who has qualities that you don't even have or possess yourself. So I think it's the same. I definitely believe in love and definitely believe in long-term relationships.
Yes, I agree.
My question for you, along the same lines, is your outlook more positive, or is it more negative, or do you feel like it's the same as it was before you were 30?
I think I haven't had any relationship. S- Only my husband.
Oh my God! Okay.
So I don't have anything to compare. But I'm more based on my experience, it's a positive experience for me. And yeah, when you're 20, you're more fun. But when I reach the age of 30, I'm more serious about building the family.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Second question: have your priorities or expectations changed regarding love and relationships since you turned 30?
My priorities definitely changed since I am a mom, and
Right.
expectations most definitely, because you're trying to build a family here. So you want to focus all of your attention in raising the kids, grinding, and taking care of your husband. So
Right.
yeah. So as a working mom, my priorities are like work, kids, and then husband.
Which makes total sense. I would say my expectations are a little bit different than they used to be. I think I care about love a lot more. I think a lot more about long-term relationships since I'm a little bit older now and a little bit more mature than I was when I was 30 years old. So I would definitely say my expectations have changed. Okay. The next question: what are some challenges you faced when it comes to finding love or maintaining relationships after 30 years old?
The challenges that I faced when finding love or maintaining relationship is number one is to finding time. Both of you are working, right? So you need to find time, spend time together without the kids.
Right. Right.
Okay, so we usually, with my late husband, we go to motorcycle rides, going to different places like Rizal, Bataan, and stuff like that. And then we have that time together, like just the two of us without the kids. So I think it's very important that you spend time with your partner without the kids.
Right. I think so too. I think you have to remember that you're a wife or a husband first before your parent. Yeah, because ultimately at some point your children are going to leave you and branch out and start their own families, and you and your spouse are together, right? You're in it together for the long haul, and so making sure that you guys spend the time together and put in the work consistently and over time, that continues to build a relationship, and I think that's really important.
Yes, agree.
Okay. So next question, number 4. Do you feel any societal pressure or expectations regarding relationships and marriage at this stage in your life?
Yes.
Do you? Really?
Yeah. A lot
How
of
so?
pressure. For example, at the age of 30, you're supposed to be getting married. But I
Right.
got married at the
Right.
age of
Yeah.
24.
Yeah.
So I got married at the age of 24 and then build a family, but they're expecting you to have, a house, a car,
Right.
and everything like that. But of course, if you want to, for me, that's my personal opinion,
Mhm.
that I want to build a family when I'm still young.
Right.
So when my kids grow, I'm not that too old to watch them grow and then have fun with them as they grow.
All right. So our next question: How important is compatibility in a relationship for you now compared to when you were younger? Is being compatible, is it important to you,
Yeah.
or is it just you need to find a guy?
No, of course you have to be compatible. You have to vibe.
Mhm.
You have that connection, whether it's physical, emotional, mental connection, and spiritual as well, because you have to have that similarity, okay,
Mhm.
for you to vibe. Of course, you are not 100% similar. There are things that you have to have some differences with, like not all the things that you listen to, songs or hobbies, it shouldn't be exactly the same. There should be differences for your personal growth. But again, it's important that you vibe and you connect with your partner. So I think compatibility for me is very important.
Mhm. I would agree with that. I think for me, compatibility is super important because I mean we would all love to be with a beautiful girl, have a beautiful girl in our arm, but at the same time, you got to be compatible with them. You have to have stuff that you can talk about, things you can laugh about, things that you can joke about together and do together. And so, especially as I get older, I think compatibility for me is like super important.
Yeah.
Like way more important than it was when I was younger. Because when I was younger, I think I just wanted to have a pretty girl, have a pretty girl on my arm, and so it made me look good. But I think at this point in my life, compatibility is incredibly important.
I mean, that person is going to be for the rest of your
Partner.
your life partner. So you have to vibe. You have to have that connection, and it should be, for me at least, fun.
No doubt.
Yeah, it shouldn't be like a boring relationship.
No doubt. I absolutely agree. So our next question: do you feel like you're more open or cautious about entering into a serious relationship now compared to when you were younger?
Yes, I think so.
Yes, what?
Yes, I am more cautious.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Okay, so I'm more cautious now because of past experiences that you need to really go. I think I mentioned this to you before, that I'm guarding. I'm keeping my guard up,
Sure.
and making sure that I'm not going to be hurt.
Right.
Of course, you don't want to. Who wants to get hurt?
No one wants to get hurt.
Okay, no one wants to get hurt, and I'm cautious about entering a serious relationship right now, because especially I don't want to introduce a guy to my kids.
Right,
Because
absolutely.
they'd be expecting that every guy that they will meet will become their next dad, their
Right.
next stepdad, or because I don't want them to feel that, disappointment of meeting one guy to another. So when I'm sure, 100% sure of that person will be my lifetime partner, then that will be the time I will introduce that guy to my kids.
Right.
Because I don't want my kids to get involved in any of this dating scene. Yeah, I can talk about it, but I'm not going to let them meet the guy.
Absolutely
Yes.
understand. That's very respectable. And so, look, guys, don't come over here meeting her and breaking her heart, right? Y'all just be careful with her. She's very delicate. Right? Okay, all right. Next question: how do you balance personal goals and aspirations with your desire for a romantic relationship?
For me, it's very important to have that balance, because I juggle graduate school,
Yeah.
getting a license or being a certified yoga instructor, and then being a mom,
You got your
and
boys.
then working.
Right.
I'm juggling all those, and if you will notice, my plate is already full.
It's full.
But
yeah.
but if you really want something, then you will definitely find time to do
Right.
things. So if you want to date me, then you have to understand that my plate is full, and I can give you time, but my priorities as of the moment those four.
Right. Shout out to you. Shout out to her for putting in the time to help build this channel up to where it is
Yeah,
now
plus that.
and where it's going to be. So shout out to you.
Thank you.
All right, okay. Next question. What role do you believe age plays in finding love and building a successful relationship?
All right. So for me, age plays an important role in finding love and building successful relationships. I've talked to guys who are 25 below, and I've talked to guys who are the same age with mine. But I think guys who are more than 40 and above are more mature and leaning towards love and serious relationships.
Right, right. I do think age plays a role because I just think, for me, I think a lot of guys, when they're young, they're not ready. They're not ready, and they don't want to get married or be in a relationship. I mean, you might want to be in a relationship and have a girlfriend, but you ain't thinking about getting married and having kids. I think a lot of guys don't get to that stage until they're like in their late 20s, early 30s. When you've you have a career and you're working on your career and all that stuff. And then you have other guys who just want to travel or want to go around and, experience more of life. So I think as you age, I think you get past a lot of that stuff and you're ready. You get more and more close to settling down and then being in that relationship that you always wanted to be in. Right. So the next question, have you ever encountered any stereotypes or misconceptions about being single or dating after 30? And if so, what were they?
For me, if I'm going to be single and without my kids after 30, I mean, my biological clock is already ticking.
Right. Yeah.
So I need to really find the partner at the age of around until 33, because that's the age where you have to have, children, because for me, it's very important to have, or at least have, a child at that age, because going higher than 33, it's going to be difficult to conceive.
Yeah, well, you get into that stage of geriatric pregnancy, and that can be very difficult on your health. Yeah, very risky for the mother and for the child equally. Next, what qualities and values do you prioritize when looking for a potential partner now that you're over 30?
Of course, that person must be mature, emotionally, financially stable, that can be, at least, like, you're laughing. Duh. I mean, I'm not going to ask him to support me 100%. At least someone who can help you with life, make life easier, security.
Right.
So that's what I'm looking for in a partner. Of course, there should be emotional compatibility, like what we mentioned a while ago, and also, for me, physical attraction is definitely a plus.
So we talked about qualities and values. Do you have an expectation of your spouse being the sole provider when it comes to the financials?
Sole provider?
Yeah.
No, I mean, I can make my own money. He can help.
Okay.
But he's not going to be the sole provider for the family.
Okay. What's the split as far as, like, you said you're willing to
share?
Yeah. So you said you're willing to share the responsibility. What's the split on the responsibility that you'd be willing to share?
Like, for example, I'm a single mom, so I'm going to pay for my kids' education.
Sure.
So next, he can help by, with the place, with the house, with the bills, and then I can do groceries too. We can split everything. Actually, that's how I do with my late husband. So we split everything. He's in charge of this. I'm in charge of this, so that it's balanced.
Okay. So percentage-wise, what's the split?
50-50.
So 50-50.
Yeah.
Really? Okay. All right. Interesting. All right. Thank you.
But if he wants to provide more, then I'll take it. But yeah.
You know what? I mean, everybody's different. I would think that I think a man would want to provide more than 50%.
Yeah.
I mean, and I think every relationship's going to be different, because I think it has a lot to do with what your job is versus what his job is.
Yeah.
If you have the means to provide, but also you have the two boys. So if you have the means to provide more, then that would be great for some guys. I think if it's me, I would expect to provide more than 50%, and shoulder more than 50% of the financial responsibility. But I do realize everybody's different. But I will say this though, I will say I think most guys would appreciate a woman wanting to shoulder 50% of the responsibility, the financial responsibility. I think they'll appreciate that for sure. I think a lot of guys would say, no, I can handle more of that. But they'll definitely appreciate, and whatever you're willing to contribute, I'm sure that they would appreciate as well too.
Yes, I agree.
Okay. All right, great. Next question. How do you navigate the dating scene and meeting potential partners at this stage in your life?
Oh, that's a tough question. Actually, navigating the dating scene, I only use the app for now. So I'm looking for potential life partners, and if they're willing to meet, then I'm up to meeting them. But of course, if they're not, when you have this conversation first, right? So at least you get to know that person just a little bit, talking online or chatting. And then when you think that you're ready to meet them, then you can finally set up a date maybe, and then go on dates. But now, meeting potential partners at this stage of my life, again, it has to fit in to my schedule, because my priorities are my priorities, and that's how it is.
Right. Gotcha. Okay. Are you more inclined towards dating someone who shares a similar life experience and maturity level?
Yeah, maturity level wise. Okay. Yeah, so I life experience not necessarily, but maturity level, I agree with that, because who wants to date a younger guy who's not mature enough and ready to take the responsibility. So I'm okay. I'm very much okay with dating a guy with the same maturity level with mine, and we'll get along very well.
I don't think I've ever asked you this actually before. What's your dating range? What's your range, like from you would date a man from this age to that age?
Oh,
yeah. Okay. What's the range for you? Guys, pay attention.
I think I could do 32.
32. So a little younger.
A little younger, but not too young. Okay. 32 to 55.
32 to 55?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, why not 60?
Because my dad's around that age. Hello.
Fair enough. All right.
Hi guys, this is Cheng. Thank you for watching our video. Stay tuned for the part 2 of Love After 30 on Friday. See you!